for a month. We spent the month every morning showing up here with our baby book. And today, so I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that either you watched the replay, either you came on the show with me, or you watched it live, you interacted in the comments, you share your voice. So it's Friday, yay! And it's Friday, like number 4 of showing up, and we're gonna have beautiful guests coming up. If you are catching the video right now, you can just jump on. There is a link in the description if you want to come live with us. It's still time. I'm going to be here for a little bit. And then, so the idea is to, whether you've read the book or not, we can talk about what it means for you to be or not be visible. How much would you like to be more visible in your business / in your life? Because that's the discussion we had for the last 4 weeks, how much, entrepreneurship is a personal growth journey, because everywhere that you hide from yourself, entrepreneurship is going to come to you, and then you're going to have to kind of get on, put the light on you, whether it's at the visibility, marketing level, sales level, process building levels, hiring a team level, like whatever level of business you are in, it requires us to become visible. And so, if you're new here, my name is V.I.S.I.B.L.E, as it says on the screen here, and I am an online visibility strategist, and I help women entrepreneurs and leaders to go from unseen to being visible online so that they can attract, connect with new potential clients or collaborator using social media. But more importantly, we do the work that, we do the strategy and the tactics and the funnel and everything, building the landing page, all the things that are amazing, right? But it requires first to build that inner visibility so that you can have that sense of conviction. So that's why I always say your inner visibility, your online visibility grows at the pace of your inner visibility. So what is inner visibility, right? That's what the book is about. Basically, when you start showing up on social media, whether you do live, you post, you invite people to work with you, it's going to require for you to believe certain beliefs, right? Number one, you're going to believe in yourself, in your capacity in helping others, transforming their lives, believing in your programs, believing in your services, believing in your clients. And you're going to have to use your voice so that I get to know you. We get to know you. Who are you? Right? Who are you? And what do you stand for? What do you stand against? So that I can figure out, do I want to play with you or not? And then what are your ideas? That those ideas, but is kind of the ground of who you are as an entrepreneur. Like your ideas are behind everything you create in your business. And they are so important to share with the world, as well as your stories of life, because the stories of life that shape the entrepreneur that you became are the stories that anchor kind of the transformation and the reason why you offer what you offer, so people can start understanding and seeing in you, the type of transformation that you got or that your clients got, that they could get as well. And then the second I is your irresistible offers. What are your irresistible offers? Are you excited to sell your offers? Let me share to Facebook, to the public, and share to our beautiful group. If you're not in the group yet, we have a community of almost 250 women entrepreneurs who, my dream is that we would meet in a real room or garden, because it's so warm right now. I would rather go in a garden. And to have, because if you could see the caliber of expertise that we have in that group, if everybody was showing up in the same location, you would, and I would be like floored. Okay, I'm sharing this here. Perfect. So we are at the I. The belief, I said the belief in you, belief in your offers, belief in your clients. The L, your leadership. Because as soon as, I get, that's my point of view. As soon as you're born, you become a leader, whether it's leader of your family, leader of your community, leader of your business, leader of your team. You are first leader of you. And that's the work in the Are You Visible? And that's the work we do in Magic with Social Media of that I'll be talking to you a lot in the next few weeks, because we're going to be opening the program for those of you who, got the book and got touched by a part of the book. We're going to deepen the work together in that program. And I would rather say it's an experience rather than a program, because it's not just about learning, it's about becoming. um, when you become visible and more visible, whether it's online and on stage and at networking events and wherever you go, you deploy leadership. You are that leader, right? So how do you navigate this online? And then the last E is your expertise, because most women entrepreneur, they started their business because then they were badass at doing something very specific they're an expert on, right? So for me, social media, advertising, marketing, communication at core, because I'm a journalist, was a journalist for 10 years. I was a PR person for 10 years and more than 10 years in marketing. So that's my communication is my thing. And I'm sure behind your business, you have a thing. Your expertise gave birth to that business. And we think, and I think at the beginning, it's great to really focus on your expertise and sell your expertise. But as we develop our businesses, it requires the rest of the letters, right? Oh my God, we have our first guest coming in. Hello, hello. Let me bring you on. So before I bring you on, I'm going to turn my phone for Instagrams to make sure we see the screen. We bootstrap. Bootstrap. Okay, I just want to make sure, because the other day I cut the screen in half. So when you watch the replay on Instagram, it's not super cool. Here we go. I think we're good. Let's bring you on. Are you ready? I don't want to say your name. I want this to be a surprise for people who know you. Pa-pam. Ta-da. Oh, where are you? You're like in the small box. Hey, you're the big box.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Me. I don't hear you.
Can
What?
you hear me now?
Ta-da.
All good?
Let's figure this out. I'm going to check my Bluetooth, check my volume sound. Here we go. Are you here? Can you hear me, Devlina?
I can
I
hear
don't.
you.
Oh, yeah, I hear you now. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Angelique. How have you been?
I'm good, and I'm so honored that you got up for me, maybe even earlier than usual, to come and talk about the book. So, thank you. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
It's an
And
honor, Angelique.
Devlina. So it's going to be very informal. We're going to have other guests. And if you're watching, I see there are more and more people watching. Just there is a link in the description where you can join us. So, and when you click on the link, you're going to pop up in my backstage. It won't put you right away live. You go backstage and then I'll introduce you to the crew here. So, Devlina, I'm so, you came to me multiple times on social media to give me feedback about the book, and each time it touched me so much, because you never know, and I know that you're working on your visibility big time, and you're an amazing person that explain what you do and everything, and you're going to introduce yourself, but I want to hear from you. What does visibility means to you, Devlina? What does that mean to, like, how do you explain, how do you see that? What does being visible means to you?
To me, visibility means having full faith in my capabilities. No matter what anybody says to diminish your light, still have that faith in you, that trust in yourself that you can do it, you can have it all. So no matter what the circumstances may be, just have that little bit of faith, burning within yourself. That is going to push yourself. That is how I have achieved what I have achieved till date. That is how I have immigrated countries. And I could resonate so well when you were talking in your book about your immigration journey from France to Canada and similar circumstances as well. So it really touched my heart. There are instances in the book when you talk about mm, you know you were losing faith in yourself, but then there was this thing in you which kept you going. That faith, that means visibility to me. The faith in yourself to keep going, that is visibility to me.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you for sharing this. And we're going to welcome another new immigrant that is waiting for us in the backstage. Thank you, Develina. Here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Could you hear us,
Y-
Norche, when
Yep.
we were talking? Okay.
Yep.
So, Norche, before you introduce yourself, Devlina, introduce yourself. Tell us where you are talking from, and then what is your business, your activity, your expertise, and that's it for now.
Sure. uh, Hi everyone. So I am Deflina. I am primarily from the telecom sector. I have 10 years of experience in project management and various other domains. And in 2021, I have immigrated countries. I immigrated from India to Canada. It was a big leap for me. Then again, manifestation does work. So I will talk about it later. And so my business idea is more about coming up with AI powered contact centers, because that AI is everywhere. And recently I did a bunch of certifications all by myself, because I'm pretty self propelled, and this is the path which I chose for myself. So in order to come with a product, I do not have the collaboration of the developers at this point in time, but hopefully down the line, I have full faith in myself that I will be able to find groups here in St. John, Canada. I'm in the east coast of Canada, and I really like it here. Summers are amazing. So down the line, I am hopeful that I will be able to collaborate with multiple stakeholders to uh, bring this product into a fruition into the market. So that's what my goal is. And I also have worked with multiple organizations throughout this time, and always hoping to switch gears as per the requirement and wear multiple hats, so that that kind of prepares me for every kind of uncertainty and ambiguity which might be there. So yes, I would like to know more about you.
Oh, you're awesome. I have no doubt that you're gonna get where you want to go with your product. No doubt at all. Norche, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for hosting us, Angelique, this on this fine morning when it's a bit cooler than it has been the last few days. I actually had a really good sleep, so that was good. So I'm Norcha. I am the owner and founder of Wagwise Dog Coaching and Education. And today is kind of a day of a celebration, because I realized that last year this day I graduated with honors from my school for dog behavior. And it was funny. I was doing my morning practice this morning. I always do yoga with Adrian. I don't know if people know that, but it's fantastic. It's a free YouTube channel. And today the practice was yoga for celebrating. And then she reminded me that we don't do enough to celebrate our accomplishments and our personal growth. So I was like, yeah, that's right. And I was just reflecting on the year that's been and all the things that I have accomplished so far. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty amazing.
It
And
is.
since meeting Angelique, so I've known Angelique maybe now for a year or so. Since meeting Angelique, she's been, you know, really encouraging about moving things forward. And I remember we went on a road trip last summer, and I had just launched my business, and I felt very in unsecure about it, very like, and she kept saying to me, we were driving to PI together in a car, and she kept saying, "You're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur." And then by the end of the weekend, I did believe it, and so she kept on kind of pushing me a little bit to explore my visibility, to come out of my shell, to show my face online, and yeah, and so I'm reading Angelique's book, I think now for the third time.
Oh my God.
Um, and I'm just really starting to put into practice what she's writing about, and it just resonates with me as well. And it's just nice to see people being open, and how that resonates with other people in the world, and that the story you have to tell, when you keep it very personal, is a very good way to become visible to yourself, but also to others.
Wow. Yeah. So big celebration for all of us, all of us. And look at us getting up and going live and sharing with others. Let's celebrate. And I'm sure there are other people watching the replay or now that going to be also looking back. Oh, I did that too. And that's true, Norte. We always have a tendency to go next, what's next, what's next, what's next. But let's take a breath and just to this, it's really for the book, 4 weeks of being live with all of you, and I want to say thank you. And the thing is that those celebrations are even more fun when you share it with others, right? Because it's an energy of celebration, and it's like it's so empowering, right? And so, Norton, you said, I want to spend some time here around, it's your third time reading the book. And Devlina, I know you took notes as well because you sent me like super, super comments about what you were reading. So let's, just for fun, tell me, how did you read the book? I hear a lot of people read one shot, then they go back, and then they go to one section. So just your experience of reading the book, so that we have more people to read the book. It's not just a read, right? You have to stop and reflect, right?
That's
So
right.
tell me, maybe Devlina and Norche, how you started to read the book and your methodology around it.
Yeah. So I actually, Eleanor passed on the news to me that you were launching the book on the 21st of May, and I got myself the Kindle version. And when I was reading it, I could relate to your story of you booking La Maison at La Maison Blanche. Am I
Yeah,
pronouncing it?
yeah, I love how you say
Yeah.
it. It sounds so exotic. I love it.
Yeah, like you actually visualized that scene. So, and you mentioned about believe in the yet to happen. So off late, I've been reading a lot of books from Kindle because I am an avid reader since my childhood. Then again, when it comes to Kindle, like I have it in my cell phone, I have that app. I have the other Kindle as well. So I go through statements and then I highlight. I feel like I haven't read a book completely until I have underlined it or I have highlighted that and paused, like you said, take a breather and reflect in that moment. So when I say believe in the in the yet to happen, that was more of an aha moment for me because I'm a big time traveler. And I kept looking at, Thousand Islands. And guess what? Recently, I had the opportunity to go and visit that place all by myself. I just kept looking at those, bunch of islands and that castle and everything. So I'm a solo traveler and take that leap of faith. So nobody is going to be there to travel with you all the time. So being a solo traveler allows you to open yourself to the world and be daring and become a good planner. So believe in the yet to happen. So I cannot explain how much that resonated with me. And there was another thing like, talking about the vision boards, which are extremely powerful. And people say, you go to different places and you buy souvenirs from that place. I would rather say I get signs from the universe. Why? It's because I bought a pair of jeans, refugee denim, and in that it was written Miami. I bought that jeans a year ago, and I went on a trip to Miami from St. John when Flair Airlines opened their route from St. John to Orlando, a direct flight. in the first week of April. Out of the blue, I had a US visa, but I did not have that. I did not become a PR until that time. I did not have my TRV until that time, but it all happened within a matter of 10 days, and I was there. So I just kept looking at that, and then that tag which we get with the jeans, I used that as my bookmark when I was reading one of the other books. Every day I open that book, I see that tag. That's the first thing. So vision does have power. Believe in the yet to happen, it does have power. The law of attraction, it does have power. So
Love it. Oh my God. Yeah, you so the what is the thing with the 1,000 island? I don't know anything about it. Just briefly, what is that?
yes, so it's an archipelago. So you take a trip from Toronto to Kingston, and from Kingston you go to it's in between Canada and the US.
Oh, yeah,
Thousand-
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yes.
and then if you go down to Gananoque, so that's another place, beautiful place, amazing place. I took the cruise ride from Gananoque to the Thousand Islands, and there is and to the Bod Castle, which is in Alexandria. So it is, more like a fairy tale wish coming true for you. And I took that solo trip. I traveled all the way from Toronto to, I woke up early, went to the Union Station, got a bus to Kingston. I don't know how I would, reach from Kingston to Gananoque, booked an Uber, had reserved that Uber. It helps you to become a better planner. So this is from 5th of June, very recently.
Yes. So you're all fresh from your trips. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna bring Brenda. Brenda just is joining us. Hello, hello, Brenda. Look at everybody's waking up, coming along. I love it.
Hi,
Good
Brenda.
morning. Good
Hi.
morning, guys.
Hi.
So, Brenda, we are in the middle of talking about, how you read the book, and I know you're gonna receive yours today, right? At your
Yes, finally. Sorry I'm late.
You're not late. It's
I'm
huge for legacy.
just in time.
Yes. So Nordshim, would you share your how you approached the book and how did you use it for yourself?
Yeah, happy to. So I was part of Angelique's little groupie there. So I got a pre version via PDF before the book was even available on Amazon. So I downloaded it on my computer, and so this was just a few days before the May 21st, and it was a very beautiful weekend. It was not too hot, and I was sitting in my little tent in outside. Like, we have this bug tent. We're in New Brunswick, there's bugs everywhere, and I live in the woods. So anyway, I was sitting in my little bug tent, and I started reading, and I was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, okay, I got my cup of tea, I'm good. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a pot of tea. And I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I just read it, I think, in one sitting.
Yeah.
It just oh, I got a visitor here. There's a
What is it?
bunny in my there's a bunny in my yard.
I thought it was a
Aw.
bear. I was like, oh
No,
my
no,
god,
no,
there's
not a
people
bear
there.
this time, but the bunny is coming every morning to say hello. So good morning, bunny. Um, so anyway, so I read it in one sitting, and then I ordered the book. The actual physical book, because I like to have something in my hand and you can see where I'm at. I'm right now with my third time through. I'm at chapter 8, where it starts with "You're a Chinese buffet," and Angelique, and I love that sentence. I think it's amazing. So when I did my second read through, I really stopped and reflected, and started doing the exercises that are outlined in the book. So I went shopping, got myself my stuff for my vision board, made my vision board, and I'm adding stuff every day. And so I look at that every morning, and I'm just amazed. Like, this vision board went up like 2 weeks ago, and there are so many things already happening. So, like Devlina said, it was like, when you have that vision, when you visualize things, they start happening. So that was really powerful. And yeah, and then also, kind of what I really liked also in the book is, kind of the letter you write to somebody to tell them about how the year has been. And so that's what I use in my visualizations, like, what does this look like? And then things get on the vision board, and then more ideas pop up. And it just spirals from there. And I find it's very easy to rate, very easy to relate to, and then very just great exercises to do and take the time for. And it's not going to take like hours and hours, but just to take some time to reflect and to be practical about it. It's really good. So yeah.
I love it. So I just want to bring something for people, for those of you who haven't read the book, or you still are skeptic around, you just see it, imagine it, and boom, right? It's very, I just want to bring, and I think I talk about that in the book. It's very, that's how we're made as humans. We have a brain, and there is a system called reticular activation system, which is the piece of the brain that brings your focus on something. And so when you decide that you want to focus on whatever you want to focus on, so that's why we do vision board, because our brain works in words and images. So I think it's 11 billion bits of information that we receive every second through our senses. And our brain can only filter 40. So this is where it's really important to be in a state of mind and in energy that only nurture things you want in your life. Because if you spend your time in what you don't want, guess what? We call it our RAS, our RAS. It will just bring you what you pay attention to. So that's why we have our vision board, and every day we look at it, we nurture it, because that kind of train our mind and brain to kind of get our attention on what we want. And then when you think things like you want, that it brings your energy up. You feel like, you feel enlightened, you feel in flow, you feel like, yes, that's me. And then you start feeling the emotions of your future in the present, so that when there is an opportunity that brings you to your dream, you see it. But if you're in a state of disempowerment, or you're focusing on what doesn't work in your life all day long, you won't be able to see that door that is right there. So that's our job in life, is to really prioritize our energy, because this is what opens the doors of what may seem impossible, but is possible.
Yes.
And so we are the magic. So I love that both of you brought that those two pieces from the book, because if everybody knew that, life would be much easier for so many more people, right? We all have those tools, right? So I thank you. I love that both of you, Devlina and Orche, you brought back that part of the kind of the thing that I share, because that's game changer. And Brenda, please introduce yourself.
Okay. I also, sorry if I'm a little bit distracted, but I'm on my phone, but I'm trying to get on my desktop.
Okay.
So, because it's just going to be a much better experience for all of us. And it just wasn't happening fast enough for me before. Sorry for my lack of patience. And here we are. Yeah. So my name is Brenda St. Germain, and my business is V.I.S.I.B.L.E by Brenda. And interesting what Angelique just said, because the other day when I was in here speaking with her, she asked me to visualize, or maybe it was after in a chat in the DMs or something, but I realized that I don't do the visualization, and I'm not sure if I ever have, and if I have, it's been a really long time. So when you do that, it really does change things. Like, I was like, wow, this is sort of a simple thing to do that I just overlook for all kinds of reasons. And yeah, so and vision boards, I've heard of them. I've thought, what a great idea. And then, this is me, I don't even know how they work now, but I'm like, aren't you supposed to like cut pictures out of magazines and do and I'm like, I don't have magazines. Who has magazines anymore? Where am I going to get pictures? I don't know. So like things like that stop me. But I would love to have a vision board.
Brenda, you can just use sticky notes as well, or just write something or draw something. It doesn't have to be any, you don't have to go buy those expensive glossy magazines at all.
And I don't overthink anything. Never,
Yeah.
never.
That's too funny.
So, Devlina, is that how I pronounce your name, Devlina?
Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to-
When I popped in, it was nice to hear you talking about a part of the world that I'm really familiar with, which is around the Thousand Islands. I've been on those cruises, and I've not been to the castle because that's America, right? And you've got to have, yeah. So I never had a passport or proper, papers to be able to do that. But that brings me a really beautiful memory because I got married in Kingston.
Wow.
It's very special to me. I eloped there, actually. So that's a part of the world that I'm very fond of because I lived in Toronto and spent a lot of time down in that area. And now my business, I'm working away at it. And this week I've had more visibility and vulnerability at the same time than I've had in a long time. Angelique's jumping in her chair. But a lot of it started the morning that we had our chat, and I was very uncomfortable when we were discussing a lot of things live. And I thought, oh boy. But that later that day, I went to a gathering here in my building where I live for one of my neighbors, her birthday party. And I found myself, I told Angelique, I kind of explained it as holding court in a corner of our building's party room about my business. And I live in a seniors building where I'm positive there are people in here that could use my services. And I've never even really asked before. So, I've got my first client unofficially lined up, but next week I'm going to officially line her up when her family leaves town. And I had a really cool woman in the building. She's elderly, but she's one of the coolest, hippest chicks I've ever met. And she's like, we have to talk. We have so much in common. I want to hear more about this. And she pulled up her walker and we started chatting about it all. So, I might be able to get something going with her. And then yesterday I went and I did something really cool, which I'm not really going to talk about yet, but it was already planned, but it's just like a part of the snowball. And that made me feel I was in front of 3 cameras, so pretty visible. And so that's gonna be released to the world next week. So wow. I'm excited about that. And things are happening. So Devlina, I'm Bits and Bites by Brenda, and I want to teach people how to cook, and I want to demystify the whole notion that it's hard and that you need a degree and that you need to spend money on takeout in order to give yourself nourishment. And so I'm thinking of all different kinds of ways that I can help people directly, indirectly. I'm already doing it on Facebook with a page where I share a lot of different kinds of things. I'm trying to figure out what people resonate with, what they like, throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. I found myself cooking a really late dinner last night and filming it. So I'm going to put that up there today. And I'm very right now focused on a superpower of mine, which is being able to save a lot of money on groceries. I know how to do it. And there's never been a better time to sort of release that to the world, I don't think. So I'm going to show how everything that I made for dinner last night was purchased on a steep discount or a sale. And, I'm not a math person, so I'm not going to necessarily break it down to the penny, but I will give an idea of, just how economical this kind of gourmetish type meal was and how easy it was to prepare. So things like that, just showing people that it's possible. I can help, and I can set you off and set you free, and you'll be able to do it on your own and maybe even help somebody else. So
Awesome.
I love this, Brenda. That was an update. Like it was, we met 5 days ago. Look at you going.
I don't even think it was 5 days ago. It wasn't even that long.
No, maybe not. Like what day? I think we
I
met
think it was two
Monday,
or two
Tuesday.
days ago. I think it was Wednesday. So, I'm really, really glad I got up early that day. And North was there like as a cheerleader and just helping, spur us on. And it was like a really great early morning that I'm not used to, but here I am having another one.
And you know what? What are you raising here? So number one, before I forget, I want you to go back to the recording.
Yeah.
Brenda, you
Yeah.
said things that are the key of your marketing when you were talking to us.
Yeah.
So listen to write down everything you said. Okay, there are pieces there that are the one you need to repeat 100 times a day.
My story.
You said something or my superpower, blah, 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 stuff like that. Okay, clip. Think of news clip. Okay,
Yeah.
you did a lot of news clip when you were talking to us. So good job.
Thank you. And I did listen to it once and I cringed at the thought. No offense. Wasn't about listening to you. But this is what we have to do, right? So I thought, oh God, I don't know, I don't know.
I
And
know.
then I listened to it and I was like, this is pretty good. Like there's some good stuff in here. Like I'd listen to this if I weren't me.
I love this. And I'm talking, yes, the first live we did, but today you said things that are right on. Okay, so go back.
Oh, even today. Okay, good. Then I'm on a roll.
You're funny.
Sorry. I need another step.
All of it. Okay, I love this. So Norche, what is your superpower?
Oh, my superpower is that I really understand dogs and I really understand people. Some people call me the dog whisperer. I always find it a bit of a term that is tinted with all kinds of things because there's somebody else in the dog world who's called the dog whisperer and he doesn't have the greatest methods. But I do believe that I make a connection with people and dogs really quickly, and it can get things turned around for people. So when they're struggling with some of their dog's behaviors, um, it's I can give people a lot of simple things to do to really help turn things around, and and work towards a calmer life together, a more fulfilled life together. A happier dog means a happier owner, and it's really nice to see how quickly things turn around. I have this client that I'm working with, and she has two dogs, two little dogs, and they are a little bit apprehensive of the world. And in just 2 or 3 sessions, they've turned things all around. So I worked, of course, on things with the dogs, but I've also worked on things with her on how to be more present, do breathing exercises, all those things. And it's just remarkable to see the confidence level in her, and to see how calm the dogs are and how well they do when there's visitors coming, and it's just amazing to see. So every time I work with people like that, it's just like win win win, and it just feels so good for everybody. So that is my superpower, to really help people that way.
I love it. We're gonna welcome our next guest. Hi, Debbie. I'm hearing a noise, a beep. Is it me?
I think
Oh,
it's
it's you, Debbie. Okay, you are totally like. Were you there for a long time? Because I put my screen in large, and then I wanted to check if you send me a message, and I put it in small again, and here you are, and I'm like, oh, have you been waiting forever? Oh, I don't hear you. You're on mute. And Brenda, you want to change your? I have two Brenda.
What?
I'm gonna remove one. I had two Brenda. Debbie, I can't hear you. There is a noise. It's like a connection thing. You know, sometimes when you don't plug and you're on mute. Oh,
Oh,
no.
It's picking up background noise from somewhere
Yeah.
else. I
Or
think
it's a connection of your, I think it feels like this. Hmm.
technology is fun.
Yes. No, we don't hear you. Aw. Do you
maybe
have a,
those earphones. If you try taking out the earphones and connecting directly, maybe.
See, that's why we have Devlina. She knows her technical
yeah.
stuff.
She's a tech girl.
Our tech support.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Yay.
Okay, I won't use
Hello.
the
Woohoo.
headphones.
Good morning, Debbie. I'm
Good
so
morning.
happy to have you here. Like, thank you for getting up early for us.
Yes. Well, I love listening to the stories. Hearing women speak inspires me and it brings me to tears. It's just a beautiful thing to hear you women excited about what you do. So I'm really happy to be here.
So, Debbie, introduce yourself. Where are you talking to us from? What is your superpower? And who do you serve?
Yes, so I'm in Westlake, Florida, which is right near Wellington or West Palm Beach, near there. And my superpower is I can see through women. I can see through all their veils to that beautiful, authentic self within. And I think that's my superpower. I can see right through their fears and their doubts and their health issues. I'm a board certified health and wellness coach, integrative nutrition coach, and emotional eating psychology coach. So I work only with women and I work with women and really inspiring them to take control of their health and to make the choices that are going to make them thrive in their bodies, mind, and spirit. So I'm I've been doing this for 6 years and I have a heart for it. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis 11 years ago. They told me I'd be in a wheelchair because I wouldn't go on their medication. And it's 11 years later. No, I'm a healthy woman without ever taking a pill. Not that I'm against it, but for me, I knew I could change my life. And doing that, I found functional medicine and that holistic health that up here has so much to do with what you're experiencing in your physical body. And Angelique, I think that's one of the things that you had posted. When you said about being visible, as willing as you are to be visible is how basically successful in a way you are. And I feel that way in health too. You know, that willingness to be visible of self really matters to how you show up in health in your life. And that's what I do.
We can feel the passion, Debbie. I love this.
Thank you. I definitely do. I've been blessed to work with women with very serious illnesses, and I've been able to watch them feel healthier. And that to me is just the greatest gift. I feel like I've been blessed that I get to do it. So
Yeah, that's amazing. I myself have various health issues that I dealt with. Breast cancer survivor, and when I had breast cancer and when I had my surgery and after that, I kind of lost faith in my body because I felt like, oh, I don't know if I can trust you, body, and so that took quite a while. So, I went back on track and I did a lot of mindfulness stuff, and that really helped me. But I think there's lots of women that can really use your help when they're going through things like that, because that's what I've heard about from other people as well. When you've always been very healthy and active and eating well, and then all of a sudden you still get sick, it feels like almost a betrayal. And I also know what happened, because I wasn't really listening to what I should be doing in life, and I was pushing all kinds of boundaries. But it's just interesting, like how you lose the faith in your body, and what you need to get back on the rails, and feel that you can handle it again.
It's so interesting you say that, because that's one of the things that I really talk about with my women is we push ourselves always off our radar screen. Everyone else is allowed to be on the radar screen. The neighbors, can be there. Everyone can be there, and we're like way in the back burner somewhere. And that's my job, is to get you up front on that front burner, so that you start looking. I had a client, breast cancer survivor, and I've been seeing her for some time. She had a lot of symptoms. And just what you said, when she used to look in the mirror because of the multiple surgeries she had, she would look in the mirror and say the words, this makes me want to cry, "You're a pig." That's what she would say when she looked in the mirror. And now she says, "Thank you. Thank you." Because she felt her body had betrayed her. But in fact, she thanks her body now, because her body loves her, and every cell is thriving and wanting to be healthy. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful gift that I get to do.
Wow. The depth of the story going on the screen today, all of you, like, wow, I love this, because when you say, Debbie, about everybody else is on the radar. It's like, if we had, like, I don't know if you know what I mean, but I'm sure my New Brunswickers where I live, and I know, like, people have some cameras at night where they see the animal that pass.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
You're never on it. It's always someone else.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So, Debbie, we have one more superpower that I want to hear. Devlina, what is your superpower?
So I would say that this is something which I discovered during my MBA orientation in Canada, and that is my thinking style. So we were mapped into groups, and then we were asked to take the ambassador profile test, and then it turns out that optimizing is my preferred way of thinking and problem solving. So what optimizing means is like, there is a problem, then I'm able to, analyze vast amounts of data and pinpoint what's wrong. So for that, we need to be detail oriented, and I see that it was a hidden power within me since childhood, but it has only come to the surface when somebody has asked me to take a profile test. Okay, this is an inherent quality of mine. And then very recently, I use this every day in my workplace, and I have been using this all throughout these years. And so recently I saw that, there is this AI boom everywhere. And people talk about AI powered this, AI powered cell phone, AI powered technology. There is so much buzz around AI. So, but then I am using AI every day, but how much do I know about it? So, and what can I do to, upskill myself? Now, very recently, I came across this LinkedIn post that Google was offering free certifications. Okay, you do a certification. What does it mean to the world? So I thought that why not let me self learn, train myself, explore what are the opportunities available. And guess what? It's been there for the last 10 years. And people are only talking about it because AI is the, buzzword in 2024. And in a matter of 15 days, and it's this journey started 7 months ago, because generative AI is everywhere. And there was this event in St. John, Empowering Women in Business, wherein we were talking about pioneering AI and digital transformation in businesses. So that is where I got the opportunity to speak to the audience from the being a person in the audience myself. And I was able to cater to that discussion, bringing my knowledge to the other people. And I was like, okay, all right, I have things in place. What else can I do? Because people need to be informed. And that's when I embarked on a journey of those certifications, not to show the world that I have achieved so many certifications, but in order to figure out a solution. And I can quote a live example that I was booking my ticket to Miami. I've been to Miami, Florida very recently. So I see Debbie here from Florida herself. So West Keys, like you said, I had taken that bright line train from Orlando to Miami. So I wasn't able to book my flights because there was a glitch in the system. And then I was redirected to a virtual AI chatbot, which was taking some significant amount of time, which was powered by one of the product design companies, which is based out in Toronto. And the backend application which they use, okay, I come from a telecom background, said, okay, so this is how it is integrated, so this is how the customers are going to use that UI. So as an end user, I was able to figure out, okay, this is how the UI should have been. So it would have been much easier for me. There should have been a resolution time, a response time. And given the response time, the virtual agent should have been able to redirect me to a live agent. So those certifications which I did, and me being the end user, I was able to join the dots, and I was able to come up with a solution. Okay, had this been the case, this would have been the optimum solution. So I believe, like I said, optimum solution. So optimizing is my superpower.
Yeah, definitely. like
Thank you.
next time I book a ticket, like you check the whole thing. I love it.
One of the case scenarios, and like I said, that the trip to Miami, it was like it just happened out of the blue. I always wanted to be there, and it just happened. How it happened? There were so many roadblocks, but despite that, it happened.
I
So
love it. Thank you for sharing. So whoever needs to optimize their AI stuff or any process, I feel that AI or not, you are the brain to do that type of things. Like it's natural to you. I love it. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I think we did everybody's superpower. Okay, so Debbie, because I just put you on mute because when you don't speak, there is a noise that comes. I don't know why, but don't worry. I'll put you back on. Maybe it's the ocean.
Maybe it is. I like to think that. That would be great.
Me too.
Uh,
It's my air purifier.
oh, I thought it was the ocean, Debbie. You were like,
Oh,
maybe it's the
no, I
ocean.
have a lake. The ocean, I'm not that close to the ocean. No, it's my air
I
purifier.
love West Palm Beach. You said you were close to West Palm Beach, right?
I'm like 25 minutes west now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been a few times at the O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
like it's a dream location for me. So
Yes,
I
I do
didn't know
love
you were
it.
from that region. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Mhm.
Debbie, we all had our turn around. How did you read the book? What was your approach to the book, and what are the pieces of the book that you use for yourself or that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I've only started the book, and so I'm only a few chapters in, and my daughter and grandson are in town, so it's like I'm like just a second, because I don't want to put it down. I am in love with this book. I am absolutely in love with it. I love that the way you tell your story about coming from the farm. I came from a very small town with a dad who was a wonderful man, but the woman was down here and the man was up here. And that's just so coming out of that. And it resonated with me, that old societal belief system. And, and I didn't even, I have traveled through that in my healing process. So that really resonated. But one of the statements that just hit me the other last night: success wasn't only a number in a bank account or a title on a business card. It was about the guts to stand up to our fears, to dance with them and lead them towards something meaningful. I literally look at me. I am just covered in tears. That is so beautiful because
tears. Like, like, who wrote that?
because that sense of that success is this number, and I get to cry every day with my women. I get to embrace their healing process. And yeah, the money part is part of it, but that's not where I feel success. It's not where I feel joy. And Brenda, what you were saying when you were saying the vision, I haven't sat down, that's the other part of the book, and really focused on my vision for some time. I did at the beginning, and I asked for a sign from the universe. I wanted an owl, and the following night, an owl landed on my chimney. I was like, "What is that noise?"
Wow.
So that's a big piece for me right now. Is I laid down last night and I started to play with my vision again, and it's very unclear. So that's the piece that I really want to work on again. I want to make sure get my vision in alignment again.
I love this. Yeah, that's our North Star, right? We need
Yes.
our brain needs to know where to go. Bzz, bzz. It's like a GPS thing, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Anything that you I don't want to I know that you have a day to go at too. So before maybe we wrap up, I want to hear from do you have any question or anything that you want to clarify, or maybe it's something around your visibility in your business? Like the floor is yours. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer if I can help you.
I do have a question. So sometimes I've taken to posting on LinkedIn very recently, regarding the tech space. And I post frequently on Facebook stories and normal posts as well. But then there is always this part of me which feels like, do people think that I'm posting way too much? Like, I came across your post also where it was written that, do people think she posts just too much? She's just too much. So how do you tackle that? I have come across this kind of a statement, and way back in 2014, even a couple of months ago as well. People have this notion that if you start posting too much on social media, you come across as someone, oh, she's just too much. How do you navigate that kind of a situation and still have that faith in yourself? Because those moments makes me feel a little bit cringy. Okay, fine, I'm not going to post today, maybe tomorrow. And then that tomorrow doesn't come. I then on the third day I regret, I should have posted this 2 days ago. So yeah, so how do you navigate that when people tell you you are just too much?
Yeah, I love it. It's such a beautiful question, and it's just want to tell you that post. I've been posting it 3 times. It the same. I don't even change a word. This is the post that I get message of women saying it's exactly what I feel. I feel I'm too much, and that makes me cry. Like I will cry right now. You are not too much. You are you. And if you want to say something 3 times in a row, you say something 3 times in a row. So I'm just gonna unfold a few answers to you, but I just want to tell you that it is the one thing that I hear the most, that women think they're too much, right? They believe that. It doesn't come from your social media. It's something, it's a wound inside of us where, and that's the topic of my TEDx that hopefully someday is going to be on YouTube. You have to believe me. But how many times in your life you've been told to be quiet, to sit down, to go down to your room because you're too much, to not ask for what you want because that's not the way you do it. It's impolite, it's seen as this or that. Or if you were dressing in a way that you were showing too much, who do you think you are? Like all those things were recorded by by your mind and body, like, girl, you're too much, shut up, hide, don't even think you can ask for what you want. And so you build some, we built, all of us went through that. Like, that's the most common stories I hear. And that's the fear of being rejected again. If you post 3 times a day, are they going to reject me? Are they going to leave the boat? Are they going to abandon me? And are they going to judge me? Right? So this is what I want to say here is that, it's coming from something that is ingrained in your belief system, that you are too much and you are not enough. You know what I mean? You're too much and you're not enough. So that's kind of the two things that we operate from an unconscious way, right? Even though we say we have our vision, we are like clear, we're going there, but our mind still think that we're not safe if we're showing up. Because remember, back then, when you were opening your mouth to say something, you were sent to your room.
Mhm.
You were just a kid. You had nothing to do in this adult conversation. Even though, I don't know about you, but I remember being like tiny and being so feeling strong about a situation that was happening, and I wanted to say something,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right? And you're just a kid. You have nothing to say. But what I've learned as a mom is that kids have that pure, direct access to their soul until society puts layers and layers and layers on them.
Mhm.
So that's, I think, and that's why visibility kicks in when you're showing up online. All those things, like we put in place, adaptive behavior so that we're never seen too much anymore. So we pretend, for example, people pleasing is one of the way you hide that wound. If you please everybody, and that's one of common thing, we were talking about it earlier. Everybody's on the radar, right? So there are multiple behavior that we add to our life, and then when it's time to own your power again, when you do build a business or a presence online, those things are popping up and stops you from showing up. But you become aware of it, so that's awesome. So that's where it starts. 90% of everything starts with awareness, right? So I love that you bring that question, because, and I'm not going to take the time to do that right now, but what we do when we work together, we work with your little girl, little Divlina.
Mhm. Mhm.
Needs you to talk to her right now, bring safety back to her, that she's safe. Look at all the freaking things you've done, girl, right?
Yeah, thank. So it happens that I just go back to my journal. I have this habit of journaling, and then it ends up me, pouring my heart out in that journal, because I'm more of I see myself as a guarded person because I'm unable to open up, and everything goes in that journal. But that's helpful in ways, because then I'm able to take it out and then go back to my work. And then I had attended one of the master classes by Dan Brown, where he used to say, write as if nobody's watching,
Yes.
because nobody's watching. So I have this in front of me right now. So this is my journal.
Awesome.
And whatever happens, good, bad, anything. So I just write it out nowadays.
I
So,
love it.
so
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But to come back to your question, the other component to this, and that's what really, and I think I talk about it in the book, but it's starting to believe that thing that is not, it's kind of counterintuitive, that what others think of you is none of your business.
Mhm.
And this is where, when you are anchored in your mission, and so when your mind starts to go back to your mission, and
Mhm.
it's, your mission is anchored, and the day you die, you want to look back and say, okay, I can go now, I've done what I was meant here to do. That's how I feel it, when, like, I myself go through, still, like, each time you go further in your dreams, it's popping up again, and you need to do the work, keep doing the work, because the mind is louder. It's like, no, 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 we cannot remember, you're nothing.
Mhm.
Right? So it will come up, but one of the belief system that we need to shift is around, you cannot control how other people feel about you, and they have their own story, and the way they're going to judge you anyway is going to be related to their own story. So, and especially in the world of success, when someone else gets what you want, so there are two ways. It's one, you take it against you. It's like, oh, I don't have that, and she has it. Like, it must be, our minds like, it must be something weird happened, luck, or or you open yourself and you're like, yes, girl, she got this. If she can do it, I can do it, and you celebrate the other one.
Yep.
So the more you get around people who are in that energy, there is no other way that it's going to work out, because the love is love.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing this.
Any of you, Norche, Brenda, Debbie, you want to contribute to this conversation about your experience around this?
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I like what you're saying about what somebody else thinks of you is none of your business. That is something that's always resonating with me. And you're right. Like every time you embark on something new, it's very scary, and then and you think, oh, I've posted this, nobody's reacting, and does it make sense what I'm saying? You start second guessing yourself. But I always have Angelique's voice in my head that says, you never know who's watching. And then the other one is like, what somebody else thinks of you is none of your business, and to stay true to your path, and share your story and be your authentic self, and go to a place where there is just a lot of joy, and you're just happy to share your gift, and the right people will come along and will see who you are, what you have to offer, and if there is negativity, so if you feel like somebody is judging you or whatever, I always say hurt people. So it's again, none of your business, has nothing to do with you did. It's their own life story, and those are probably not the people you want to associate with anyway. They are not your ideal clients, and the more you are clear on what you're doing for others, doing with others, your ideal clients will show up. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Beautiful. Anyone else wants to pop in?
Yeah, I want to say something. Do any of you, have you heard of a content creator named Elise Myers?
Don't think so.
Okay. She's amazing. She's in, I believe, the Midwest in the US. And right now she's taking a bit of a break from social media because there was some sort of like attack on her social media about her not speaking up about what's happening in Israel and Palestine and all of that. And it's really kind of sad what's transpired with her visibility or whatever right now. But she's got a new baby, and she has a toddler, and she's very open about her mental health. She has ADHD. I think she has OCD. Like, she talks very, very openly about her life experience and her fears and her just everything. But something that really I'll always remember that she says is when somebody tells her or makes her feel like she's too much, she either says or thinks, then go find less.
There you go. There you
Right?
go.
Go find less. I love this.
That's I think she's got merch that says that, but that's sort of a line that she's become known for, because she grew up feeling like way too much. I think she's the only girl in a family of boys, and now so many people love her, and I love her because she's so real and she's so open, and she's just, and that's what I love about people. So I really enjoy, and she's funny. She's very funny and very smart. So she's finally finding her people. And if you don't like what's going on here? Go find less. Like, keep scrolling or whatever.
Keep
And-
scrolling.
right. And then
Keep
I'm
scrolling.
not a big fan by any means of like Dr. Phil, but years ago I caught a clip online or a piece of his show or something, and they were talking about this, like what people think of you and how that, you get hung up on that, and it paralyzes you. And he actually said something I'll never forget, something his father said to him. And in his drawl, and in his own way, it was something to the effect of, if you knew how little, or how infrequently people thought of you, then you'd worry a lot less about it. So it's like, and I didn't take that in a negative way. It was just like, everybody's kind of going on about their lives and doing their own thing, and they're in their own head a lot of the time and worried about what everybody else is thinking about them. So, maybe take a step back and don't be quite so concerned, and maybe they're not even thinking about you, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, they might not have a negative opinion of you or a positive opinion. Maybe they're just God knows what they're thinking about. So, these lines do stick with us, don't they?
Yeah, and that's why our job as marketers is to wake them up, especially if they're people you want to help.
Yeah.
They need to be thinking about you.
Mm.
So it might take more than 3 times a day sometimes, because there is inspiration as well. There are days that I call those downloads. You feel the urge to say, to share. You know that it's a time right now, put it out there.
Mhm.
And then if you do it 2 days later, it's the same post, but you don't feel that energy. You see the difference in how it's perceived. I started to play with this myself, and it's very cool. That's why I don't schedule any of my posts anymore.
Mm. Mm.
And
I
some
don't
people
even,
disagree with that, but that's okay, because
Yeah.
I don't mind about what other things of you, of me.
No, I
Sorry.
agree with you.
You know what I mean? If I have to schedule for whatever reason, I'm going to be on the road and stuff like that. But I really believe in the energy that you transfer with your words.
Mhm. And being in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Debbie, you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I just, this really hit me. One, I think because all of us deal with this. We all have those fears about what others are thinking of us. It's normal and it's common. It's just what we do with it. I think that's really, really important. I remember when I was a little girl, 2 years old, they tell a story. My dad would come home, my mom would be in the middle of a TV program, and he would just turn the TV to whatever he wanted to watch. Didn't matter, because he was the boss. And I would go over and turn the channel, and he'd hit my hand, and he'd turn the channel, and I'd hit my hand. And then after it was red, I would give him my other hand, and he would hit that hand to not turn the channel. I'm turning the effing channel because that's what's right. And just do it. Just do it. And I'm saying this to myself because I've been wanting to go live for a long time, and I don't do it.
Well,
And
you are doing it.
yes,
Right?
that's right, right. I don't on my stuff. I'm everything's pristine and everything's tidy and everything. And this group of women just having this conversation, with the networking group of women that I've been working with, it's something that I really have a heart to do. And so I understand and I really relate to what you're saying.
Yes, and it's just beautiful because once you're aware of it, and so once you realize that it's a reminiscence of things from the past that created a certain, a trauma. It's a trauma response, right?
Yes.
So when you heal your trauma, um, you're gonna feel like freedom around it, and it's not a big thing that's gonna take forever, right? It's like that's another thing that I think I talk about in the book, like the trauma thing. Whether it's, we are all trauma ambivalent, whether it's small t, big T traumas. Everything we say and we do is a response to a trauma, right? So once you start to look at how you behave as a marketer, as a visibility person. And then you can understand through that lens, oh, that's interesting that I said that, or I didn't post today, or that's interesting, I'm not doing my lives and I so want to do them, then you bring a lot of, so this is where, we're talking about how others judge us, but the person who judges you the most is not others.
Mhm.
It's you.
Mm.
We are the biggest judger of ourselves. It's not a word, I think, but so, and when you I would start there, remove that part. Each time you see yourself, entangled in your mind and in your fears, removing that judgment, right? Because it's double layer. Like you're suffering from, the trauma that blocks you, but then you judge the fact that you blocked, right? So it's like a double cheese mac or mac cheese or whatever. Like it's a double burger, right?
No, it's not that good.
But yeah, oh, I love that topic. I love that you brought up that topic because, and I think I was talking to you about this, Norche, like a few months ago, I was told that someone came to me that I trust, said, there is someone who wants to work with you, but they won't because you wear hats online and you dance and it's not professional.
Oh my
So
God.
I know, but I know, but it's about their own belief system, right? They have a set of belief right now that is like, and it's, so that's why we cannot even judge anybody that judges us. They're in their own
Yeah.
journey, their own trauma response, right? And then, so that's why when we do the work, that's why we do the inner visibility first before we even post anything. Because, this is where now you can navigate those waters, but because yes, when you're visible, whether it's online or on a stage, there are a lot of eyes watching you and everybody has an opinion, and that, it's not a problem. But when you are anchored in that thing that you're doing this to change the world one person at a time, that this is your mission, you're unstoppable. And if someone comes at you, you don't even take it personally anymore. You're like literally, I send them a beam of love, right? Because they're on their own journey. It's not about you. You're just the trigger for them, right? But it has nothing to do with you, right? The only thing you have to do for you is to make sure you prioritize your energy, and you still work on your awareness, because what you brought up today is beautiful around this. And then, so that's why when you start working with your little girl and you start working with the woman who is on your vision board, and the three of you are together, when you do that live, we are one. But the little girl is always there, and she's the one who's going to stop you, because she holds all the fears that you've built in your life. So that's why we need to bring back safety to our little girl. And there are different ways of doing this, but starting by talking to her, like mine is here with us right now, and I feel it, right? She's always there. She's like, can you stop talking?
Yeah.
Can we go and play?
Yes, I want to go play.
Yeah. Life is short. Let yourself have fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope it helps you. Devlina, did you get what you needed for now? Yes?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
And we'll be talking more about this. So I'm brewing something. So as you know, I'm opening my Magic with Social Media Love in a few weeks, but I'm going to do a series. I decided that 2 days ago. I don't know if you remember, in my office, I used to have a lot of stickies in my background behind my chair, which are the principle of my life. That's kind of the behind the scene of the book. So I have the pile of stickies on my floor in my desk, under my desk. And I think I'm going to do a series of what are the stickies that changed everything. And some of those that we're talking about are about this. So I'm going to probably bring a series of this summer. So stay tuned for more of this. And you'll be invited to join our experience with Magic with Social Media, where we do that work. We do that work every day. And it not only helps with your visibility online, but with your visibility in life. Because as you show up in one aspect of your life, you show up the same way in every aspect of your life. When I was told that the first time, I'm like, no. I'm good at this. I suck at this, But this is when you become visible to yourself that you're like, oh, interesting. Yeah. Any other question before we go?
No questions. Then again, I will be sharing with you the picture of my visualization corner. So I don't have any corner per se. It's just, and Brenda, you mentioned that regarding the vision boards, because we are out of the magazine world. So what I do is I see a reel, I see a post, I see a picture, I hit save, and it helps me save in create folders. So say for example you're on Pinterest, I create my own boards, and then one of the boards is called coveted destinations. So
Oh, I
yes,
love it.
that's my bucket list. So that's how I accomplish, okay, all the places which I want to go.
I love this. Yeah, Pinterest is a great way, Brenda, to
Yes.
pick and choose. I just Google sometimes a word, and then I look at all the photos, and then you print them. Or you have friends who have magazines from the last 15 years. I did that too, and they want to get rid of them because it's time. And then you get a pile like that of magazines, and then you can play.
True.
Yeah, you have that too. Or even at thrift stores. I
Yeah,
don't know if they have magazines. Yeah.
maybe. But just
Yeah.
what I need, another website where I save a bunch of stuff.
You'll find your
I
way.
don't do that. I don't save too much stuff. But I
You'll
see what
find
you
your
mean.
way.
You're right. I didn't think of that, and Pinterest does sound kind of like the perfect place to get some great inspiration. So thank you.
Awesome. So before we wrap up, can I ask you to hold your book? I know, Brenda, you don't have it.
It's
But
on its way. It's going to be here any minute.
Yeah, it's gonna ding dong.
Yep.
Second.
Devlina is looking up for Kindle.
Yeah.
Because there is a Kindle version. And I should mention that Monday, regular price goes. This is the end of the promotional season. If you don't have your book yet, grab it. It's $5 US. So I think it's $6 Canadian. Oh, look at this. I've never really looked at it from someone else's phone. I love it. So I'll do a screen capture after, but can you, pivot your phone a little bit? Yeah, because it was clear. Perfect. Thank you, ladies. You're awesome. I'm so grateful for that morning of celebration. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. Debbie,
you.
Norte, Devlina, Brenda, and all of you watching. I see there are some people watching pop up here and there. So thank you. And if you're watching the replay, let us know what resonated with you. And if you want to reach out to Norce, Devlina, Brenda, Debbie, just DM them. Simple.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well,
Okay.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And thanks
Happy Friday.
for doing this. It's so nice to be here on the last hurrah, but not really.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. A bientôt. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.